we are going to go ahead and start off the content. All right, y'all.
To see Tyler Perry being sued for actual assault by the nigga Derek off the Oval. I've read these messages, I've reread these messages, I've proofread these messages. I read the messages in 3 and 4D. All I saw was two homegirls talking. Amen. First thing first, Tyler Perry did not open himself up to any of these allegations. If he made any passes, any remarks, they were all subtle. They were all blurred lines and gray areas. Why? Because Tyler, a billionaire. You think he knew to this? He true to this. Derek knew to this. Derek never been in this game before. He don't understand that Tyler understand what position he's in. And he tried to help you, Derek, regardless of his sexual preference. He tried to help you as a person. But what you did, Derek, try to target the man's sexuality for monetary gain. That's fucked up. I get everybody saying, here come the smear campaign. Because you know Tyler just had a successful movie on Netflix. Now they gotta try to tear the black man down. This campaign to tear the black man down began in 2019. It took Derek 6 years to formulate convincing evidence of Tyler Perry's inappropriate sexual behavior.
And I want to just add to that, not that I'm feeling one way or the other, but I saw the movie, the newest movie that Tyler Perry has produced, and that's Straw. And in 2 weeks or 2 weekends, it has amassed the value of $50 million worth of support. And so now this lawsuit came out on the 13th. It was released on the 13th. We are on the 18th, right? So we're looking right dab smack in the middle of the release of his newest production and movie. And no matter what the opinions of it is for people are tuning in, people are watching, people are checking for it, right? So I just wanted to add that to his context of saying that it took this man 6 years. It took what it took, but then it could be defended on both sides. He could have a very plausible and very effective reasoning based off of his team, why it took that long. All of these different circumstances contributed, the dynamics, everything evolving, including the relationship, the roles in the movies. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he actually, in the lawsuit, confessed or made the statement that he was hesitant to reject Tyler Perry, and this is all alleged, fair use is in effect, because of the fact that his roles, he needed to make money, and because his roles and his position in Tyler Perry's production company had leverage, it used his position and his acting as leverage. He felt that, he had to really be meticulous and he had to be very careful on how he responded, when he responded. And then you've got, of course, on the other side, Tyler Perry and his team saying, you know what, when I say team, I mean legal counsel and representation. His team is saying, yo, he's scamming. This is not what it, what he says it is. And, but now I will say that, and I'm going to keep saying this, depending, AI is so good that I don't know how they're going to be able, and I'm sure that they will be at some point, especially in such a high profile case, be able to determine whether those text messages are authentic, are authenticated or not, right? You'll be able to decide that. But if they are by chance authentic, then guess what? It's going to be a problem.
I ain't see nothing. I don't care that a fully clothed man took a picture by a boat and called himself a stud. That's not enough. That's not worth $260 million, Derek. Now you tried it. You tried to play possum and you tried to attract the bullshit. But not knowing, Tyler wasn't gone. Then think about this, y'all. What kind of person gonna accept a role in a movie after being sexually harassed? If you really was sexually harassed, you took not only the movie role in 2019, But you took the Oval movie role too. So make that make sense. If y'all paying attention, this is the shittiest example of a money grab attempt. Because dog, you look like you was with it. If you're grin, you ain't. You ever heard that saying? And nigga, you was digitally grinning.
If you grin, you in. That's the consensus of a lot of people, right? So we have to definitely take into account and consider all of the facts and stuff that's involved. And the next clip that I'm going to show is going to be a small one or a short one with another person's perspective. And I don't know if people are aware. I'm sure by this point, a lot of people are aware that Christian Keys, where he did a live or a video where he did not name the billionaire, but now, of course, that is being revisited due to the fact that, guess what? A lot of similarities between that situation and then the current situation with Derek Dixon is making people revisit that entire situation. And one thing I can say is that this brother was definitely shook up. He was definitely shook up.
Promise you this. I will promise you this. As an executive on the show, I'm grateful for this person for showing me how not to be. When you're the boss, how not to be. You don't sexually harass your employees. You don't pressure them, bully them, try to intimidate them into what you want. I am grateful for that lesson. I'm glad that God sat back, because not only was he watching to see if I was the person that he thought he had made, but he was letting me see who I am. And I'm grateful for it, because it let me know, and that gave me a lot of my bravery.
So from the message that he sent, it sounds as if it revealed to him his strength, because he was able to resist and not, give up what they call his man card. Shout out to Terrence Howard for coining that phrase. Definitely. I did too. Hey, Dimple D, peace and blessings. Hold on. The chat was moving fast. I believe Christian, when he first came, you can't help but just look at the emotion that's attached to it. That just does not scream clout chaser. That just does not scream that I just want attention or I want money. That screams trauma. That screams pain. That screams, to me, a lot of history, as far as that probably helped change the trajectory in his life at this point in his life. And as a man, I can't imagine what that looks like. I can't imagine what that feels like and what it entails, because you risk in such a world of acting, of celebrity, of the Hollywood industry, to stand up and to make public that's not how you roll. You're going to get some pushback. You're risking becoming blackballed, being ostracized, your name being smeared, even if they have to lie upon you, just because you are not coexisting in the same fashion as those that are signing your paychecks. So if you know, right? So I definitely see a lot of gaslighting in this industry. I see a lot of games being played. I see a lot of plays being administered in this industry. And you got this man. Now I'm with a lot of the people that I've been hearing on the topic when it comes to Derek Dixon. First of all, the amount that he's suing for. Now, nobody can really put a price on pain, on an individual's pain. But what I will say is that what they say, that the punishment has to fit the crime, right? And until things come out and until they develop into a point where there can be a judgment, placed off of fairness and off of the facts and the evidence being presented throughout this. Because let me tell you, the Derek Dixon's team is going to fight for his best interests, and you already know that Tyler Perry's team is going to fight for his, not just his best interest, but his name, his legacy, right? His, whatever he's leaving to the next generation, his name and his business, his company, the people that he's helped, the people that he has uplifted, that he's been able to employ. We can't just dismiss that and say that he is a man of bad character, because he has been able to do and has chosen to do what a lot of people in his position has not. And I'm not going to say the name, but I will say it's probably revered as the most famous basketball player. As much money as he's been worth for over 40 years, he has not really given back to his community, and has been known to actually be more of a detriment to his community for his personal profit by investing in the prison system, right? Who occupies most of the prison system. So I just wanted to make that comparison, and you can't take away what the contributions and the good aspects just because somebody is being accused of something. True or not, whether they have text messages or not, whatever the evidence is, like the brother in the first video stated, according to him being a masculine man, allegedly, I assume that it sounded like two women talking.
All them text messages in Madea voice. But remember when Christian Keys came out with that video? Hold on. This video, when he said he was essayed by a powerful man in Hollywood. Do y'all remember that video I made? I can't find it, but if y'all can find it, tag me in it. But it's a video that I made when I said it was either Madea or TD Jakes, allegedly to both of them. But if that track, the way that these court documents are worded, Tyler Perry has been using his power and influence to molest, abuse, and SA impressionable and vulnerable employees and actors who look to him for guidance and mentorship while pursuing their dreams. First of all, this is a tale as old as time. This is like, what do they call it? Black couch casting or whatever, casting couch. Anyway, notice the S's, employees and actors. They are opening up the door for more people to come forward. It might not go how, I don't know. It might be over for your boy. I don't know. I'm just saying. That's what it looked like to me. And it definitely sounds like allegedly. This is exactly who Christian Keys was talking about. But I don't.
So let's talk about this for a minute. Because the reason why I wanted to show her clip was because of the grammar, and like she said, the S's being plural put at the end of the statements. Now we're looking at Diddy's situation, even though it's not getting a lot of the exposure it was getting initially at the beginning, it is still ongoing. It is still affecting a lot of people's lives, and it is still has a lot of similarities to what's going on now, to the situation with Shannon Sharp. Though I don't, if those text messages between him and that young lady were authenticated and are authentic, then I would say he wasn't really using the right head, okay, pun intended, to think with and to remember who he is, and that when you are a man of status or a woman of such status, of hierarchy and of wealth, you're going to be a target. You have to be a lot more aware and use a lot more discretion about people you allow themselves to attach themselves to you, especially when you're not dealing with people of the same ilk, on the same level, right? You listen, it's a real thing, and it is what it is. There is a lot of different cases with men of color that seem to be going through very similar circumstances. Okay. And I can't help but notice that especially like in Shannon Sharp, and I know that there are more examples, but that is what comes to the forefront of my mind. And Tyler Perry, that these people are other than people that look like them. So let me tell you something. One thing that I know and I believe about this industry is that everything on the surface is not as it seems. So you can say that Kanye West, which is another example, was or has been classified as a $1 billion man with a B, right? At the same time, he marries a woman of a different ilk, of a different culture, different nationality, background. And guess what? That money, once they procreated, got married, established a family in the eyes of the law together, guess what? That money, a lot of that money is going back to her, which means it's going back to their community. Okay? You have to look. They say there's a saying that if you want to know where you're going, you have to know where you've been. If you want to know what the future is going to look like, then you need to reflect a lot on the past. There is a lot of truth in that. You can't just ignore the pattern, because guess what? If it works the first 100 times, they're going to use it the 101st time. They're going to use it the 300th time. It is going to be utilized as many times as it works for them. And then it's going to have to not work several times for them to switch up and change. So these things you just can't overlook and act as if they don't exist, right? So I definitely just wanted to say, guess what? Oh, Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby's another one. Lord, that was the first one of the chain, it seems, of events. You got R. Kelly, even though there are some differences. But what will happen is whatever your weakness is, it will get brought to the forefront, it will be preyed upon, and it will be exploited if somebody is using you as a come up. If they're using you to regenerate or to reallocate that wealth on that paycheck or those paychecks that they have signed in your name, a lot of them don't never intend for it to stay in your community, which means your family, which means your people that look like you. We need to definitely understand, understand, and overstand that this is a real thing, and that back in the day where there were so many other issues and circumstances that were considered conspiracy theories, we at this point with this particular situation, you can't just walk past that and ignore it and act as if it does not exist. Okay? We have to wake up. We have to really understand that we are in a spiritual war, and that God's chosen people are going to be targeted. Now, I'm not saying, and nor do I know, I can identify a lot of God's chosen people when I come in contact with them. But I'm saying that in the breadth and in the width of the conversation, to say that we just have to understand that the weapons of this world are not carnal. We can't see them with the actual and legitimate eye, that we have to understand it through the spirit. You have to know thyself. You have to know God in thyself. You have to know God separately as well as synonymously. You have to understand and have clarity of where we are and what weapons are required in order to fight the battles. Now, you also hit one of his homeboys, one of his closest friends, TD Jakes. He can't even come to his defense because he's fighting for his own life. Okay? I don't even want to go off into that, because I don't even want to know about that. I really don't. If it come out, it come out. When it comes out, it will come out. But right now, I chose to put focus and accentuation on this particular topic, because at this point, it looks like a playbook is being run. Whether Tyler Perry is innocent, whether the truth is somewhere in the middle and both of them are wrong and right, or whether he's totally guilty. The fact of the matter is you can't be accused of something in a situation that you choose not to put yourself into. It's just not going to happen. If you're not present, if you're not there, and if you're not a participant, people will know. Even if they lie on you, the truth will come out and it will be indisputed at some point, generally, right? Got to put that word out there. Generally speaking, it will be.